The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers with just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you use sign up code MBASGPN. I'm sorry, Scott. I just got distracted because the Giants doubled down with a statement from both owners that the GM is staying. Just ridiculous. I'm sorry. It threw me off. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I mean, no voice, no guys. Me, really route, feeling route, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. Well, I have to say this. Trae Young really should find something. He should really find something else to do. Also, I would like to add that how would the kids like to say it nowadays? That get back a motherfucker. Shout out to Michael Porter Jr. being able to end the Brooklyn Nets and that team, just showing, hey, you get rid of 4-year 5 starters, and we can beat the Denver Nuggets too. Very good stuff. A lot of interesting things going on around the league. Great and big, interesting news. Did y'all see the stuff where they said, "Hey, Lakers, we're throwing out offers for Dylan Brooks, who's just playing like one of the most improved players in the year."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just throwing out offers, and we're seeing if they're willing to trade him. Duh. Dylan Brooks and LeBron James being on the same team in 2026 is actually hilarious.
It's not going to happen, but at least they're trying to get a defensive player because they can't guard anybody.
I mean, it's good to talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to try to get somebody because we know we're only playing on borrowed time. We had a good start to the season, but we're not a good team. And then we had the last thing that I want to talk about in my little monologue. Shout out to those same Phoenix Suns. 10.5-point dogs. Able to get it done and get the win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shout out Devin Booker as well. Very, very interesting league we have going on. Very messy league we have going on. A whole bunch of different storylines. Will Norman Powell become an all-star? A whole bunch of different storylines. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, good to be back. New week in the NBA, so looking forward to it. I see Ski accusing us of being tired. I was playing poker till about 3 a.m., so not wrong, but here we are. So, yeah, overall, once again, happy to be back. Nets look pretty good whenever Michael Porter Jr. plays, and when he doesn't play, they get their ass kicked, so you can connect the dots there. But either way, yeah, your Knicks have had a pretty rough past couple of games, but overall, I think we'd still agree the Knicks are one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Big game coming up against Detroit. We'll mention that in a second. But any thoughts on your team this past week? Because I feel like it has not been a good past couple of games for Cat, and it's been pretty noticeable.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good past couple of games. It really hasn't been a good number of games for Cat, if we're being honest. The fouls have picked up exponentially.
Exponentially? Is that what you're going with?
Exponentially, yeah.
Are you trying to say fast? Are you trying to say there's been a ton of
No. Yeah, fast. Faster than normal.
Expeditiously?
Expeditiously. That's the word I'm looking for. Not thank you. Appreciate it. There. See, look. That's that Wisconsin education for you, Scott.
Yeah, it's called being a journalism major who ditched half his classes. That's why I remember that word.
Wow. So It sounds like you were me in college. What's going on here? What's with us in ditching half of the
If
classes?
there was no attendance being taken, I wasn't going. That was just my general rule. I'll find it on the slideshows on the canvas, and I'll just call it a day.
Rate my professor.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, man. The Knicks have been playing with fire for a little bit. I think that the concern was that they were just such a good. I mean, what the thought was, there's just such a good home team and kind of just figuring things out at home, and then they'll at some point figure it out on the road. Kind of similar to that Warriors team of years past that just couldn't play anything on the road and was able to play at home. And that's what it kind of seemed like the Knicks were doing for a long time, and then they just kind of had this stretch. They lost to Atlanta. Actually,
well, Josh Hart getting injured didn't help. So
yeah, and so like I'm not really too concerned about this Knicks team overall. I just understand this is just probably a bad stretch of games where you don't want to play the Knicks right now. Like they're probably going to play games close. It's probably going to be, hey, get the ball to Brunson in the fourth quarter, and hopefully Brunson can bail us out. But the defense is not all the way there. The rebounding is not there. The injuries are aiding into all of that. I think they'll be fine for the long term, but right now the Knicks don't look good, and so we'll actually talk about them literally in just a second here, Scott. First thing I do want to mention before we talk about that, though, is the fact that everybody can get access to all of our free picks and podcasts if you head over there to the SGPN app. All you gotta do is type in SGPN, and you can get tapped into the Sports Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, WNBA Gambling Podcast. Hey, Scott, did you know Unrivaled starts today?
I did. By the way, we didn't mention it, but yeah, Hope Collier makes a quick recovery.
Oh yeah, dude, both ankles, like
That's rough.
yeah, but hey, get it done now. Be able to play in May. Hey, that rhyme. Look at that.
Bars.
Yeah. Yeah, just go over there into your SGPN app and type in SGPN. All right. First game up, we just talked about them. The New York Knicks on the road going to play the Detroit Pistons. Knicks laying 2.5. 232.5 is the total. Injury report, both of these two teams. And we got for the New York Knicks, it looks like Josh Hart, Landry Shamet, both out. Detroit has not submitted because guess what? They are coming off of the second leg of a back-to-back where they did go on the road in Cleveland and get the dub 114-110 against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I see a couple people already out, though. Duran's out. Tobias Harris is out. Levert's questionable. So they are missing a couple of starters.
All right. Well, okay, so my issue here is that I've lost faith in Cat, to be honest, and that was really a big part of what I was really excited for this Knicks team because I always thought Cat was a very good player, but I'm just completely out on Cat here. The Mitchell Robinson double big thing will be interesting, especially with no Duran in the game and how they play that. I think it'd be a big Mitchell Robinson game, and so I like Mitchell Robinson. Rebound props here in this one. I think he can have a really solid outing. I would get down on a double, but you know how he gets down with that. And then you got a Detroit team that's 6-1 as an underdog this season. They love this spot. They love to be underestimated. There's a little bit of a revenge factor here when you talk about the fact of, hey, this team knocked them out of the playoffs last year, so now they're getting an opportunity to play them, to show them. I don't think that the Knicks have an option for Cade Cunningham, especially with Josh Hart out for the game. I think that's going to make everything just a lot harder, especially over the defense overall. And it's a Knicks defense that hasn't been playing, honestly, up to the best standards in the first place. So with all that being said, I'm confused on, I mean, is it the Duran? Is that how much we're valuing Duran? Because it seems like Duran's getting the value, Scott, of an all-star right now. Because why are the Pistons catching 2.5 here?
Well, you also have to include the spot with them being on a back-to-back, but the drop-off from Duran to Stewart and Paul Reed, I mean, how do you feel about those guys as your front court?
I mean, you know how we feel about Paul Reed, but it's not, we don't feel about Paul Reed like he's like one of these great centers of the game. He's just a really good energy guy coming off of the bench that can go and be able to run the rim and give you, 8 to 10 points off the bench. but he's not one of those guys that we have a threat on the glass or like a
Oh no,
threat
I
as a
agree.
rim
The point is,
protector or anything.
when you're talking about the actual spread, I have to mention the drop off
Yeah,
rebounding wise
it's huge.
because
It's a huge drop off.
I mean, Cat, even if we are a bit lower on him right now based on current form, he's still a good rebounder, or at least he can give you a good rebounding game. Robinson might end up with 15 rebounds and a half, and that wouldn't really shock anybody. So if you're looking at the Knicks, who might get a bunch of second chance points because Robinson's tipping back rebounds, and you're looking at the Pistons, who have really no answers on the glass, I do think the Knicks should win this game, but they've been really bad on the road. Detroit is 12-3 at home, first meeting the season. I think I will go Knicks, but I think I'd rather go for Robinson props, as you said before, because I still don't really feel great about the Knicks defense. And I do think that K could have a solid game and carry Detroit to a win, which we have seen before. And Detroit's been a good team as a dog. But I think I'll go Knicks mainly based on the fact that the Knicks, I'm going to call them out, they better out-rebound Detroit tonight by at least 15. Like, you really have to dominate the boards. I don't care if you have to play Robinson an extra 5 minutes. Robinson should finish this game with at least 12. Like, he really should, and I think you have to keep him in. So I'll go with the Knicks, but I understand why people might be concerned and scared about laying points with a team like the Knicks that have not played well lately and a team that has been quite underwhelming on the road. But it's not the best spot for Detroit. They're on a back-to-back off a win. They're missing their best rebounding center, and now they're against the Twin Towers that the Knicks have here in the starting lineup. I'll go for the Knicks minus 2.5, but if you want to go for Detroit, I can understand your rank.
Yeah. And it's the fact that we're in Detroit in this one. The Knicks haven't had the best road record. I'm going to stick with Detroit and take them here. I'm not sold. I'm not 100% sold on this.
I'm not either, but based on the front court differential, there really should be an advantage for the Knicks.
All right, let's see here. Pistons this season on the
second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, second night of a back-to-back. I have them as 2-5. So more fuel for the fire for you, Scott. I have them as 2-5 this season. ATS was second night of a back-to-back. 5-2 straight up though. All right. Next up, Chicago on the road going to total's at 232.5 in that one. It's actually coming down in that Knicks game.
I think I'll take the under in that. I don't feel great about it, but at least the Pistons have bodies they can throw at Brunson. If you want to throw out Holland or you want to throw out Asar, like I'm assuming Asar will get the matchup because he did it last year in the playoffs. At least I think they'll make Brunson work for his points. And Robinson's going to help with rim protection. I still question the outside shooting from Detroit supporting cast, with the exception of Duncan Robinson, of course. So I'll go with the under. I see a physical game. These teams don't really like each other that much. I can see it being a bit more low scoring than people think. I'll go with the under. You?
I am concerned about the Knicks defense, but I think I understand the angle. I think it is a little bit more slower paced than you want to give it credit for, or that people want to give it credit for. Yeah. I think it's a lot of points scored, but just maybe like 230, 229. Like, I don't know. It just feels a tad bit high for what I know the Detroit defense to be. So, no, it was never any doubt that I was taking the Detroit Pistons. I've always found a way to be on the Pistons. All right, here we are back in Boston, where Chicago is playing the Boston Celtics. Celtics are laying 11.5, 236.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have for the Chicago Bulls, Kobe White is questionable. Jalen Smith, Josh Giddey, Zach Collins all out. Nothing to report for the Boston Celtics. They have a clean injury report.
I mean, I feel like most of these Celtics games, when they're laying a double digits, is basically the same when we talk about it. Do you think Boston just mentally checks out for a half, or do you think they bury this team? And I feel like you tend to go on the side of they're going to mess around a bit, and I tend to believe they're going to show up, but who knows? I mean, Jaylen Brown dropped 50 against the Clippers last time out, and that was a very nice win. But the Bulls are extremely injured. Giddey's not playing. They don't even have a backup center now because Jalen Smith's out, but They still have Zach Collins, so I guess that counts as a backup center. But I was Collins out too, actually. So they have no backup centers at all. So I guess I'm on Boston. But I know that you typically expect them to mess around. You think that the Celtics might underachieve a bit with the point spread. I'm assuming you're on the Bulls here.
Yeah, I mean it hasn't been a guaranteed lock of the Celtics of this number by any means. 4-3 ATS when they're laying more than 10 plus points. Not the best hoops there when you see them in this spot. I can see the Bulls kind of hanging around, but like it's a hard question mark because I don't know what's going on with Kobe White. Maybe you could sell me on Kobe White having this big Kobe White game and or him just gathering attention, and it's enough to kind of pull the Bulls into this game. But then there's a chance that Kobe White just doesn't play at all, and you got, the bad news Bears going and playing the Boston Celtics, who have all this confidence right now. So, I'm not a believer. I'll say it. I don't think this is a Bulls day. I think we are definitely rolling into the crescendo after they finally, went and they got the win against the Orlando Magic and they felt good about themselves. Then they went and they lose to Charlotte. Like, I think we're now in the downward crescendo for the Chicago Bulls here, where they're just going to really suck. And it's going to be a large part of the injuries to Kobe White and to Josh Giddey.
I mean, do you know what the moves are for Chicago? Because I don't know what the moves are. I mean, you got Trey Jones. You're hoping Kobe White plays, but he's not been as good this season as you hoped. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
You hope Vucevic goes out there, has some great game. You kind of hope Bucelis kind of takes another leap, but he only really plays good when he plays alongside Josh Giddey, for real. Yeah, it's really not much you can really do. Yeah, it's not.
And
really
defensively, you're not any good anyway. So I think Boston should bury him. So we'll see.
I don't know. All right, I'm on Boston. I'm with you. It's pretty chalk, but this is dangerous territory with the Chicago Bulls that we got to start fading them. So
yeah.
Not the chalk zone bet I would feel the best about, to be honest. It's really more I can't play anything else.
Yeah, it's more the Bulls just having no players. And I like Buzelis and all, but I think we'd still agree when it comes to shot creation off the dribble. That's still something he needs to work on. So Giddey is a great point guard because he gets his teammates in a lot of positions for success. No offense to Trey Jones. I think he's a pretty good backup point guard, but it's not the same. It's just not the same offense with Giddey not being there. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully Boston just doesn't miss a bunch of shots tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Kalshi. Real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. You can go trade a bunch of tons of different markets: NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, if you don't want to do sports, you can do stuff other than sports because you're a true DJ and you can do politics, entertainment, weather, all of that. You can trade anything on Kalshi. Make sure you go check it out. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That is Kalshi, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. You can get a brand new offer. Play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you use that promo code NBASGPN. You can go over there, pick higher or lower on your favorite player. Fantasy stats went up to 5,000 times your entry over there at Underdog. Just like that, all you got to do is go sign up. New customers play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you use setup code NBASGPN. All right. Let's go. Next game up. The aforementioned Atlanta Hawks. Oh, my. On the road, going to play the Toronto Raptors. Raptors laying 3.5. 233.5 is the total. Here's the big part. Injury report. Trae Young is out. Luke Kennard is questionable. For Toronto, Jakob Poeltl is out.
It is a deja vu game.
It very much is a deja vu game. Both of these two teams did just play. The Toronto Raptors did end up getting the win. 134-117 as 5.5-point favorites. Well, now we have the inverse.
Well, for the record, Trey also did not play in that last game, so I can't even use that as an excuse. So Trey did not play in either of these two games.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing tonight. He did not play in that earlier game. He did not play in the 2 games prior where they did get the dub against the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, I'm still going with it. It's a deja vu game. They get the running back. I'm sure they will figure something else out without Trae Young here. There's no Jakob Poeltl in the lineup, so I hope this time around they go and they really attack that paint areas, be strong along the glass, really challenge this Toronto team that just doesn't have the rim protectors. And this will be the game. This will be the huge, big. Yeah, Jalen Johnson is going to give you a good game. Yeah, Nickeil Alexander-Walker might give you a big game. But this is when the bench comes to play. They're shooting a lot better from the 3 in this game. I think the scoring is going to be up. And then just natural regression coming here from the Toronto Raptors, who did get RJ Barrett back. He had 29 points, 11 and 19, 4 for 8 from 3 in that game. A little bit of natural regression there I'm expecting from RJ Barrett in this team. So, yeah, I think the Hawks are going to be able to keep this one closer. I told you these home games for the Raptors, typically come down to the wire. And even though it was they were able to pull away in that last one, I'm still sticking by it. With Raptors games typically come down to the last shot, and then it's one way or another whether the Raptors win or not. So I will take the Hawks plus the points.
Yeah, so for this one, just for reference, you're looking at Pirtle, who missed the last game too. Mamukashvili, my boy, off the bench last game, 13, 12, and 8. So my boy had a solid game there. Porzingis did not play in the last meeting. Porzingis is now back. Do you want to guess why Porzingis missed the last game?
Illness?
That is correct. It was another illness. Might have the worst immune system of anybody in the entire league. But either way, he's cleared to return to action this game. Big deal. I know that I keep mentioning the Trey stuff, but Porzingis has been arguably the most valuable player for Atlanta this season. If you go according to the advanced metrics and you go according to wins and losses, Porzingis is actually a big piece for this team. So him being back in the lineup is definitely important.
Especially with no Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah, true too. But the rim protection is definitely important, and we'll see. I think a better effort from Atlanta. They're not going to give up 134 with Porzingis back in the lineup. He's been very impactful defensively. I like the under in this game. I think 234.5 is a bit high. I understand Toronto's offense went crazy, but Porzingis played 2 games last week, and what do you know? They won both games. And in those 2 games, they gave up 111 to the Knicks. So they gave up 99 to the Knicks. But I'm sorry. They gave 99 to the Knicks and 102 to Minnesota. So defensively, they were incredible in those games when Porzingis came back. I also think it's pretty telling in a deja vu game where one team drops 134 and you set the actual total at 234.5. I see a lower scoring game with Porzingis
It's
being
the
lineup.
principles.
Yeah, give me the principal under in deja vu.
And principles do say take the under in this game, especially after over cash in the last game. And we take the opposite team and the dog. So give us the Hawks. Feel pretty good about that.
I feel good about the under.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto's not a team that exactly can shoot that well from the outset anyway.
Oh, they're not consistent at all. And it's a natural regression. I don't expect them to put up 134 points on them again.
Yeah,
like just naturally, I expect them to regress. And then you added a really good point about Porzingis.
Do you know how many points Toronto had in the paint out of their 134 last game?
How many?
60. Oh. I don't think that's going to happen again with Porzingis. So I'll dare Toronto to hit some jumpers.
All right. Atlanta and under. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up. Yeah, there is some type of nasty bug going around. I had it earlier this last month. All right. Charlotte Hornets on the road going to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC's laying 15.5, 234.5 is the total. Injury report, both of these two teams. And we have for the Charlotte Hornets, Concanepo, questionable. Diabite, questionable. Salon, questionable. Miller, probable. You've got Kalkbrenner out. Plumlee out. Still missing 2 bigs. Your third big is questionable. OKC's yet to submit because they were losing to Phoenix last time we saw them play yesterday. Shout out Devin Booker yet again.
And Brooks. Brooks had a crazy step back 3 to tie the game there.
Yeah. Shout out Dylan Brooks.
Future Laker, Dylan Brooks. Just kidding.
I mean,
it comes down to if the Thunder care enough, because we know that
like that's all it really is. Like, are the Thunder even going to care?
I mean, they should off a loss, but then again, they have not been nearly as dominant over the last couple of weeks as they were for the first 2 months of the season. But
my concern is that they're going to be up. I think I would maybe play this in like a first half. My concern is that they're going to be up by the time they get to the fourth quarter, and it'll be pretty comfortable. But you know how the Charlotte Hornets get in the fourth quarter. They start, sitting up in the chair with the game console, even though they're down like 20 points or nothing. And they find a way to kind of pull these games in a little closer than they probably should be.
Well, we have to mention Knipple is questionable. So if Knipple ends up sitting, I do not feel good about the Charlotte team at all, because that involves LaMelo having to dribble against Dort and Caruso, and that's never going to be fun. I mean, do you think OKC off a loss or shows up and bury this team? Because I feel like that's what most people think. They're 17-1 at home.
I know.
That's straight up. That's not ATS, but
they haven't been as good as years past laying a big number. Like, I feel like there's years past I see this number and I'm like, oh, just OKC, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. And I feel like I've taken OKC in this spot a number of times, and they have not got it done this season because they get it by sheer volume. 15-10, 10 plus point when laying 10 plus points this season. Still 60% hitting, but not as automatic as it's been in years past.
I think I'll be a bit different here. If Knipple plays, I'll go Charlotte. If Knipple sits, I'll take Thunder. That's kind of where I'm at. Because I do not trust Bridges and LaMelo in a bigger usage against this defense. At least Knipple, I trust the overall thought process in any given possession. You know my thoughts on LaMelo and Bridges. I think that when it comes to shot quality, they are one of the worst duos in the entire league. And you can't get away with that against the Thunder. So we'll see if Knipple plays and go from there.
All right.
Are you on the same page there?
Yep. Knipple plays, I will take Charlotte. If not, give me OKC. All right. I agree. Yeah, I'm with you. 234.5 is total, and pretty correlated. If OKC covers, it probably goes under. If Charlotte covers, it probably goes over.
Probably, yeah. You might want to go for maybe a team total instead.
Yeah. All right. Whoa, those Phoenix Suns that got the win over OKC last night, they are playing again here today, and they're playing the Houston Rockets. Rockets are laying 8.5. 222.5 is the total. Again, no injury report for the Phoenix Suns because they did just play yesterday. Steven Adams is questionable for the Houston Rockets. That's big because Alperen Sengun is already ruled out. So
what did he play again? 1 minute in the last game? Or like the last time he played? 1 minute?
It might have been a couple of 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Officially. Yeah, so that's going to be big, especially if Steven Adams doesn't go, because now this team that had a whole bunch of size and that was their, that was the selling point on them. Like, hey, at least they got a bunch of size. Yeah, it doesn't look as big anymore. Pause. So I will say here, I'm confused on why Houston's laying this amount of points, to be honest.
You could argue back-to-back travel, mental letdown spot after beating OKC, that kind of stuff, usual. I'm not saying that's going to be the exact outcome of this game, but when it comes down to why the spread is this big, travel back-to-back with a letdown. I mean, facing off against the Thunder and the Rockets back-to-back games is not a fun time on the schedule. That is not fun for back-to-back games.
3-3 straight up and ATS are the Phoenix Suns this season. And yesterday played into the other metric, 5-1 against the spread, 4-2 straight up for them on the first leg with back-to-back. So second leg dies off a little bit here.
Don't look now, though. Phoenix, 2 games back of the Lakers for first place in the Pacific. Team's good. Props to Ott. He's done a great job. I'm not sure he's going to get Coach of the Year, but he definitely deserves to be a finalist. I might vote for him. I mean, you have a couple of candidates right now. I know Toronto has not been as good, but they're still pretty solid in general. But Phoenix going from kind of a laughingstock to being 7 games over.
Literally making jokes about him. We were making jokes about him.
Man, like, I think Ott should definitely be finishing in the top 3 in Coach of the Year at this point. I mean, he's a good coach, just simply put.
9-4 ATS this season as a road dog, able to get it done. They're not afraid of going on the road and playing teams. I think the size and potentially not having Steven Adams in this game as well, really, really big for this group. Both of these two teams run a very similar style in terms of pace, more slow. Ott has gotten this Suns team locked in on the defensive side of the ball, and we know how Ime rolls with making sure his group is locked in, ready to go defensively. There may be some moments where they just give up just natural points at the rim because they're missing their rim protector. But I think this is a closer game. I really do. Maybe Houston does go out here and get the win. But if you're giving me 8.5 points with the Phoenix Suns, who's so good at ATS and keeping games close and being in there, even after getting a win against OKC, they could let down and lose this game and lose it by less than 3 possessions. So I will take the Phoenix Suns plus the points here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too many points. I think it's a bad scheduling spot. I understand why the line is big, but we have also been lower on Houston, especially ATS. I mean, we had a couple of games where they were laying a bunch of points. The Indiana game, for example, where they got outscored by 20 and they blew the cover entirely. That could happen here. I mean, Houston could be winning. Phoenix makes a run late. Houston wins and still doesn't cover. So I don't trust the Rockets to actually cover big numbers. It feels like this offense kind of gets stagnant late in games, or they get complacent when they're up by a lot. I don't view them as being a serious contender in the Western Conference. I've pivoted off of Houston. I just don't see it with the guard depth or lack thereof in this case. Şengün's also not going to play, and we know that he can be a facilitator for this offense as well. I don't really think right now Houston is as good as people thought they were going to be. I think I had their win total under on the Western Conference win total preview show. I just thought it was going to be a little bit clunky, and it has looked pretty clunky up to this point. But I'll go with the Suns. This team looks feisty. They definitely have an identity, which is very important. And as you said, I think it's going to be a lower scoring physical game. I agree. So give me first team to 110 wins, basically. Give me a dogfight. And I think Phoenix is actually pretty live to win the game. I'm not saying they're going to, but I think they definitely could pull this off. Give me Suns plus 8.5 and give me the under. But 8.5, we've talked about it, but I'll let you get your thoughts, I'd say, back on the show, just publicly. What are your thoughts on this Houston team? Because I think they're good, not amazing. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. They'll be a playoff team. They have a chance to maybe try to be, like a 4 seed, one of the top 4 teams, but
they can definitely win a round, but I don't see them winning multiple rounds for me. I just don't have that.
I think that their success would hinder on just a pure coaching masterclass by Ime Udoka rather than the players on the court. And that's not the recipe that you want if you have aspirations of winning a championship. As much as I do think a good coach is very important, I think that you got to have the talent on the court as well. And it doesn't feel like that talent is all the way there on the court for this team to win a championship. They can be a very good team, and they can be one of those teams that in the regular season, they're very solid. They go win, I think Houston could win 50 games. I could think they could win like some 50 games, but you get to the playoffs and maybe they win a round. Maybe they win 2 rounds. But it's always there in the back of your mind. I just don't see this team doing it all the way. And it's just because the level of talent, when you get to a Western Conference Finals and you're playing OKC, it's a little bit different. So I'm not a believer either. I think this is a very good Sun spot.
I'm also not going to blame it on one particular guy because he's had a good season overall, but the lack of 3-point shooting development from Amen has been alarming for the spacing on the team. Because if you're going to be going for this ultra big lineup, whether it involves Adams, whether it involves using just Şengün and trying to get Durant or even Eason into the starting lineup. I know Eason's been working on the 3-ball, but Amen is a complete Rondo at the 3-point line. I mean, teams are guarding him like he's Ben Simmons. from the outside, and that's just going to kill your spacing. So I know Amon's really good and all, but the fact that he's shooting about 19% from three this season has not helped, I'd say, resolve my concerns about lack of spacing, because now he's your point guard and nobody's guarding the guy from outside of 10 feet, basically. I like Amon as a player, but the fact that he shot in the mid-20s last year and now he's back down to 19% is not ideal. I mean, he was 13.8% in the first season of his career, 27.5. So you figure, okay, basically.
Oh yeah, he's getting better. He's getting
better.
It out.
Like maybe he can get you to like 34. Like if you're hoping for progression, he's back down to 19.7. Like teams just are not guarding him outside, and they shouldn't, which is going to clog up the middle, which will make your offense look even more stagnant. And I think that's a problem long term. I think NBA teams in the playoffs will recognize what the strengths and weaknesses are better than the bottom feeder teams in the league, obviously. I think Amon's lack of shooting could be a serious problem that can result in the undoing of the Rockets for a 7-game series. And I love Amon. He's a great athlete, great player in general, but the lack of three-point shooting is problematic when your other three-point shooters on the roster are not exactly knocked down. How many true knockdown three-point shooters do they have? And the argument would be streaky Reed Shepherd, right? I mean, isn't that like the main knockdown shooter, quote-unquote, they have on the team?
I mean, 42% is still 42%.
No, so. I'm saying, yeah, but he comes off the bench too. But
no, I'm talking about KD. I'm talking about KD.
Oh, KD, okay.
KD's shooting at 42%. 42% is 42%. So KD, even though, it may not be KD of yesteryear, he's still 50, 40, 90 kind of guy. I think Jabari Smith Jr. is solid.
I'm gonna push back a little bit though, because Durant's shooting well from three, but he's also only attempting. He's attempting about 5 per game, which is fine.
I mean, it's
like I'm just saying, I kind of meant like a true high volume.
Pure 3-point shooter. That is what they do. And I don't even think they want to really put Reed Shepherd out there. Like I think they prefer him to just kind of evaluate defense, get downhill, get to his spot in the mid range, and raise up. Like I agree with you, but I don't think they want to be a good 3-point shooting team. And I think that's what it ultimately is. I think they're like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to be good at that. We're going to be trying to be good at all these other things. Like,
yeah, and this season, Jabari Smith Jr. is at around 37%, which is fine. But I guess it comes down to, as a last question, we saw this against Golden State last year. Do you trust the likes of Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, and a couple other guys to hit 3-pointers consistently for a 7-game series? I do not. So that's my main issue with the supporting cast at this point. Smith can prove me wrong, but I do think there's a massive hole in this roster, which will come back to bite them in playoff time. And I think we agree on that.
Yep, we do.
And I like Amon once again, but the lack of shooting is a mess.
Yeah, no. 19-20% from three is insane. Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You're getting the best prices on the market with Novig. You can get reduced juice and a whole bunch of different bets. Make sure you download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend just $5. When you use our promo code SGPN, get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They've crushed the NFL this season, especially with the props. Hey, those sharp unders were really, really good. Go check them out for the playoffs. College basketball is up and running, 300 plus schools. You can go check them out and listen to the College Experience podcast and get ready every single day. Super easy to make predictions. You can run the house models or you can make your own models. Make sure you go tap in with promo code SGPN over there at Rhythm, promo code SGPN25. I'm sorry, SGPN25 over there at Rhythm, and you can get 25% off your first month. All you got to do is head over there at Rhythm and download the app and use that promo code SGPN25 for 25% off your first month. All right. Next up, it's a big number 2. The Philadelphia 76ers are at home welcoming the Denver Nuggets in yet another game where the Jokic is not playing, and we will not see the Embiid versus Jokic matchup. I haven't looked at the injury report yet, but I would just assume Joel Embiid sees that Jokic is not playing. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll play against Denver today.
Yeah, he's probable.
Oh, man. I mean, the jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves.
The jokes write themselves, but I will give Embiid props, and I'll give the Sixers props, actually. One for just staying afloat with the guy that you're paying a ton of money missing a bunch of games. But Embiid's been kind of ramping up, and he's looked quite good. So I'll give Embiid props. I mean, I gave him a hard time earlier this year, but the last couple of games, 26-10, 22-4, 34-10, 31-5. Like, he's been very good for the last week or so. Now, a couple of DMPs mixed in there, which is probably never going to go away. But I think Philly's done a good job when it comes to actually progressing Embiid's workload over the course of a season. And Embiid actually looks pretty good right now. Will that continue long term? I didn't say that. I think we all know where this is going. But as of right now, Embiid's look good for the last couple of weeks.
And so, with that being said, you also add the fact that Joel Embiid has not played this team since 2024, January 2024. Granted, they're different conferences. They don't play all the time. But whatever you say, this is definitely fuel for the fire that he is ducking the Jokic smoke. That's all I want to say. I may not say he is, but this is fuel for the fire that he's ducking the smoke because he's probable.
Yeah, I know. I think he's going to play.
With that being said, yeah, I think this is the point where it's what we talked about. And as much as you want to kind of get behind Denver and believe in what they have going on, injuries are just too much, man.
Yeah. And even yesterday against the Nets, they got buried and Murray still had like 27 and 15. And nobody cared because they got run out of the building. So even Murray having good games isn't even enough anymore.
And it seems like that I don't know. Well, maybe it may not seem like that, but it kind of feels like they may be trying to rush things because you're on the second leg of a back-to-back here. There's questionable tags on Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun.
Yeah.
So they may be trying.
By the way, sorry. He had 27 and 16 yesterday. It wasn't 15, but whatever. The point is Murray's playing like 40 minutes every game, and they're still losing because they don't have enough talent around him. So we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see if Brown and Gordon are able to go. I doubt it, but maybe they just bring him in for this game. It's a big number. They could use the help. Yeah, sure. Embiid's playing well, and they really don't have an option to stop him if he's playing that well. So we'll go Philly.
I just don't know how much I actually trust Philly to cover a big number like this. Denver, it's a bad spot. They're very short-handed. I get all that. Philly's been better lately. I mean, they beat Memphis in overtime. They beat the Mavericks by 15 and beat the Knicks. And then Embiid was talking crap, because of course he was, but either way, they have played better. Big reason for the recent 3-game winning streak, you're looking at Edgecombe, who's actually been very good for the last week or so. We'll see if he keeps it up, but you know what? I might be a bit different. I think 11.5 is a lot of points. The only concern I have, though, is with Murray playing 40 last night with his injury history. Is there a chance they just pull the plug on the game? Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that Murray ends up sitting last minute and they say, I'm going to read off these minutes for Murray, by the way, over the last week. 40, 39, 38, 35, 37, 42, 37. Yeah. Is there a chance Murray sits this game?
I think so. I think it is.
With his injury history, there's a chance he sits.
Yeah, no, it's a chance. I think he goes. Maybe not the best effective in this game, and he just tries to put the team on his back. But I don't think it's enough. Philly's playing pretty solid. You're on Denver. I'm on Philly.
Well, I'm wondering if I want to go for Denver first half instead, because I can see Philly kind of sleepwalking, thinking they have the free win in the bag, and then they wake up in the second half.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening too, but I think I'll go Denver first half. I'll be a bit different.
All right. Let's see. 229.5 is the total.
I don't think Denver can guard anybody, so I'll go the
over. I agree. Next game up, Golden State Warriors on the road, going to play Los Angeles Clippers, who have turned their season around. They have rattled off 6 wins since what was his name?
Ty Lue.
Ty Lue called them out for only having 6 wins. They doubled them, in fact.
What's the I'm trying to think. What's the word again? It's the neuralizer. What's the word for Men in Black?
Yeah, literally the neuralizer like go ahead and forget everything that happened. Yeah. Forget everything that happened in the first 30 games of the season.
Yeah, pretty much. Just we are now 0-0. It's like, okay, great. Kawhi, you are back in 2015. All right, great, cool. I'm an average 40 for a week.
All right.
Is it a coincidence that Zubac came back and they immediately lost again? For the record, I don't think it mattered because Jaylen Brown just had 50. Like, they couldn't guard Brown the entire game. But either way, Zubac is back. He came off the bench last game. We'll see if he starts this game. But we had a favorite switching. Clippers were favored overnight. Now Golden State's favored. And Golden State's been pretty good for the last week. They've won, 5 of their last 7? 6 of their last 8. So Golden State's been playing better.
Yeah, but they haven't been winning by margin. They've been kind of scaring the teeth. It was Charlotte kind of came, made them a little nervous in that game. Utah kind of, churned, kept themselves a little bit in the game. Like, it hasn't been the prettiest basketball. If I'm looking just pure on the court, even though as much as I hate this Clippers team, they look way better than the Warriors right now. I'm a little shocked that the line is flipped, especially with the Warriors being on the road.
I mean, the only issue Golden State has, is that Draymond keeps getting ejected. But
that too. I think Zubac's going to be an issue in here in this game as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to slow down Kawhi either. I don't know. Like, is money just coming in because it's the Warriors versus the Clippers, and we know the Warriors to quote unquote be a good team, and we're pretty sure the Clippers are a bad team, but they've been hot recently. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to fade this Clippers team right now.
I'm with you. I think I'll go with the Clippers anyway. I understand Golden State over the years has given the Clippers some problems. Faced off one time this season back in late October, back when the Clippers were terrible, and the Warriors routed them. They won 98-79. 79 points in 2025 is diabolical, by the way. But either way, I do think I'll go with the Clippers here. At the end of the day, they are 10 under overall, but they're only 1 under at home. They have been a lot better at home by comparison. Golden State, 8-12 on the road. They've just not been a very good road team so far this season. I don't see it being easy for either team, but I do think the Clippers at home in that environment will look better than people anticipate. I don't really agree with the line move. I agree with what you said about Golden State. They played better lately, but the schedule's been kind of a joke.
Favorable. It's favorable. They haven't beaten anybody of any substance.
They beat Utah at home. We know Utah on the road stinks. They punted the game against OKC intentionally, lost by about 90. Beat Charlotte. That game was very close for most of the way through. Beat the Nets on the road. Lost to the Raptors by 14. Beat Dallas. Beat the Magic. Beat the Suns. The Suns is a good win in that case. But the point is they played better lately, but not many great teams. And the teams that are well above 500, they played OKC and they punted, and they played Toronto and they got buried. So against some of the decent teams, they have been struggling. Now, the Clippers are not a good team, but they have played better over the last couple of weeks. They're cosplaying as a decent team. That's good enough for me. I'll go for Kawhi and the Clippers to get the job done. If the Warriors won, would I be shocked? No, but I do think the Clippers should be favored in this game, and I do think with them getting minus 105, maybe even money, if you shop around, I think the money line's got a pretty decent price for the Clippers at home.
All right. I'm with you. Can't believe I'm saying it, but take the Clippers. I'm not believing the smoke and mirrors that the Warriors are trying to sell us right now. I'm really not. And you're just sporadic because you don't know how. I mean, dog, it's like, has it been 7 straight games of Draymond getting ejected?
It feels that way. Like, and then you can argue if they look better when he doesn't play. He's been getting ejected.
He's either not playing or he's getting ejected.
But it feels like in all these games he gets ejected, they win anyway. Doesn't it feel that way? And he gets ejected in like the first half?
Yeah, because he gets ejected against these crappy teams that it probably didn't even need him
anyway. But Draymond's going to try his best against Zubac. We'll see how that goes. But I do think the Clippers have been looking like a team that has not rolled over, and I thought they were going to. So props to them for actually hanging in there. And this,
if they're playing somebody like San Antonio, OKC, like one of the top teams in the West, there's no way he gets ejected like he did in that Jazz.
I'm just happy the refs are not giving.
He gets frustrated and he tells them what's on his mind, but he doesn't get ejected like he did in that Jazz game. Like he did that because he knew, oh shoot.
Yeah, you could also argue that the refs are finally actually calling techs on Draymond after he gets the first one, which people have been calling for a decade. He's reached that point of his career where the refs just aren't even trying to keep him in the games anymore.
How many techs does he have on the season now?
Whatever it is, he should have more.
It should be double digits at this point.
I can look. So. He's probably going to end up getting suspended at some point. because he's tracking, the season.
Yeah.
Let me see
All
where
right.
we're at. By the way,
Well, Scott's doing that. Yeah.
Draymond is tied with Dylan Brooks. They both have 5.
5 techs on the
I
season.
mean, Golden State's
Okay.
played right now 36 games, so we're not halfway through the season yet, and he's on pace for double digits. So yeah, he's got 5.
Interesting. All right. 225.5 is total. I actually like over because I think the rebounding is going to be enough for the Clippers, and they'll get the extra possessions, and so the Clippers will be able to put up a pretty high tip.
Yeah, the first game was a rock fight, but the Warriors in these wins have had a decent amount of points. I mean, Utah was 237. OKC, they punted, so I'm not really going to count that, but they gave up 131. Charlotte was in the 250s. The Nets game was 227. We know the Nets offense isn't great. Toronto went to overtime. That game still ended up getting into the 260s. Pre-overtime, 240. So I like the over. Golden State's been playing some faster basketball. They've had some high-scoring games. I'll go with the over.
All right. Whoo-wee. It is Black Monday. These coaches are getting up out of here. Stefanski, Pete Carroll, Jonathan Gannon. What?
But Gannon did get fired in the end?
Yeah, he just got fired 3 minutes
Thank
ago.
God.
Like, Atlanta, you could have waited to fire Raheem Morris until today. Like, that's why
they just wanted him out as soon as possible.
No, like literally, it was right after the game was over, and it's like it could have waited. Everybody else waited till today. Yeah. Literally, everybody else waited till today. But Raheem Morris gets fired.
Well, the thing is that all the coaches that got fired, I think, deserve to get fired. So I can understand the
angle. Yeah, no, and I agree.
No, you just didn't like how quick they were to just toss.
Yeah, like look, literally Stefanski, Pete Carroll was there for a season. Pete Carroll, Jonathan Gannon, like you could have just fired him in the morning, like everybody else does. But then no, he's got to get out of here right now.
Yeah, pretty much. But Gannon, I know, is rumored to potentially stay. They had to toss him. I mean, after the DeMarcado thing that happened earlier this year, and with what they lose 9 in a row to end the season, 8 in a row to end the season.
I'm surprised they gave him to the end of the season.
Yeah, like, you had to fire him. If you're a defensive-minded guy and your defense gets torched every week, what do you actually do for a living? I have no idea.
I feel like if you have a Super Bowl or something, that gives you like free reign to the end of the season. I was very surprised that I thought they were just going to do anything different, but maybe they were down for the tanking and he got them the bad record. And then they said, hey,
yeah, I mean, he's not a head coach. You could argue, I know some Eagles fans don't like him as a DC, but he's clearly a better coordinator than a coach. So I agree with the firing. We'll see how this goes, but we'll see if the Jets add Aaron Glenn to the list. I doubt
he did get a win against the Eagles during his tenure.
Yes, he did.
Utah Jazz on the road going to play the Portland Trailblazers. Trailblazers laying 6. 241 is the total injury report, and we have for these two teams, it looks like it will be Robert Williams questionable for the Portland Trailblazers, Grant Henderson, Tybal, Wesley, Holiday as normal, all out. You've got Nurk questionable, Bailey questionable, Love, Niang out.
All
right. Denny Avdia is still averaging 25, 7, and 7.
He had a triple-double against the Spurs.
Very, very. I mean, the Wizards, dude. Like,
I've tweeted about it many times. Like whether you like Avdia or hate him for political reasons, it was an atrocious trade by the Wizards, and I keep tweeting about it. It was an abysmal trade. And I think people don't realize just how bad that trade actually was.
It might be the worst Wizards trade like in a while.
It's really, really bad.
Like this is a horrible Wizards trade at this point because like 27, 7, and 7 is not like that's not just he's having like a good little stretch of games. We're almost halfway through the season.
Yeah, and people might not be a fan of the turnovers from Avdia. They might think that he shouldn't be an all-star. I think he should be an all-star. I mean, Avdia has been really good this season. I know Portland.
Hugo scored 25, 7, and 7 and say
that's what I'm saying. Like 25, 7, and 7 like, is crazy. People don't realize, and they have no point guard. So
it's hard to do.
He's been thrown into the point guard spot. He's had 10-plus assists in 4 of the last 5 games. Like, Avdia has been really, really good. And the Wizards, in exchange, got back 20-something games of Malcolm Brogdon, a future first-round pick, and Bub Carrington. And no offense to Bub Carrington, but it has not worked out. so far in his young career. That is a disastrous trade that has not been talked about enough. Avdi has been objectively a very good player this season.
Yeah.
So
I agree. All right, so we got the Utah Jazz here who are on the road. They have lost 2 of the last 3 games. I'm sorry, all 3 of the last 3 games. They covered 2 of the last 3. That one cover being the Golden State Warriors. 6-9 ATS on the road this season. Not very good straight up, 4-11. So you got them on the road. This is the spot that you want to fade them in. I think Portland, who hasn't been as good as a favorite this season, I think it's just you trust the fact that, one, the Jazz are not going to show up here defensively at all. Should be, again, another really solid Deni Avdija game, and a solid Deni Avdija game really opens things up for everybody else on that roster to be able to add on to the scoring. And Utah Jazz on the road can allow anybody to put up 120 points. So if you're telling me I'm spotting Portland with close to 120 points here, I could see them turning up the notch defensively, not allowing the easy buckets for this Jazz team to just kind of hang around there in the fourth quarter. And then next thing you know, Portland wins by 8-10. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like Portland. Well, I don't know what you like, but I like Portland. I'm laying the 6 with Portland at home here. Going to continue the trend, fate in Utah on the road. So give me Portland. And I like under because I think that the defense is going to be the reason that they get the cover here.
yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the over in general. I'm actually kind of shocked the line dropped. It was like 245.5 overnight. Now it's down to 241.5. I don't get it at all. I don't think either team can guard anybody, and I just see a lot of pace in this game. The fact is, Utah, we know even when Laurie does not play, Keontae's been an all-star caliber guy too. Laurie's playing in this game. So Utah should walk into at least 115, 120. And Portland with Avdija and with Utah's really bad defense. I know Nurkic is a big body who might not play, so Utah might play faster in this game. A lot of potential minutes for Filipowski. I mean, that could be what happens here, but I think it's just going to be a very fast-paced, fun game. I see each team getting into the 120s. I just see a pretty high-scoring, entertaining game between 2 bad teams. Give me the over in this game. I don't know why I dropped 4 points. Can you explain to me why I dropped 4 points? Because I don't really.
Yeah, so I think it's because Portland has allowed 110 San Antonio, 109 to that Pelicans team at New Orleans, where they've been so good in one of the top 5 scoring teams at home. They only allowed them to score 109 and 108 to Boston in the last 5 games. Like they've found a notch defensively that they can go out there and compete. Yeah, there's some moments where they kind of falter, but I still think that there's a level of defensive intensity here with this group that I think that they're going to be able to get Utah rattled in this spot, off of their spot, and the scoring is not going to be there. I think Portland's team total is probably good, and I think Portland can go up there and have a good points total, but I don't know about Utah, and it's at 241. Really, really high stuff. Again, this could be 234, 235, and it's still not cover the over. So I think that Utah is just not going to be able to do enough in this one. So that's why I like the under. I'm on under 241.
I'm actually surprised you're on the under. I thought you were just going to pick a blind over with these teams.
No. This feels like a spot where you think it's probably over, but I feel confident in Portland stepping up defensively and this being like some type of 120 to 100 type of game. So I will, I'm on.
Yeah, I see a comment saying that Portland has had 9 straight unders, so maybe that's why. But it feels like every Utah game just finds a way into 240 at this point. So
No, I feel it.
We'll see. But that could be a good explanation. So thank you, J-Main. But also at this point, when there's already been a 4-point line move to the under, I'm not going to find value steam chasing an under anyway. I think just over or pass.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, that's it. Lock, dog, underdog. How do you feel we've been doing recently, Scott?
Well, I wasn't on the last 3 days for the show. So how have you been for the last few episodes?
It started off rough. It picked up.
I'll let you pick. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You know what? Let's see what happens. I'll go first. Lock. Number of options here. I will lock up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Portland. Give me Portland -6. I'm not a believer in Utah on the road. I think that Portland's playing a better style of basketball. I think that they are way better defensively, and I think they're a better offense. I think everything is just kind of leaning to the side of Portland here. And 6 is very, very. I understand it. It's 2 possessions. It feels kind of nerve wracking, but I just don't think Utah is going to be able to keep up. So maybe it's a little recency bias because we just talked about the game, but I feel really good about Portland. Give me Portland -6 for the lock. Dog. Pretty sure everybody knows where I'm going with the dog today. I just got to figure out how I want to play it. Let's take Atlanta on the money line, and let's take the under for the game. And let's just dive all the way into the deja vu set for this. We will take Atlanta +120 on the money line, under 234.5 is what I found. +310. I'll go ahead and make that my dog.
All right. Well, there's going to be a bit of overlap for this show because for the lock, I am going to go with the under in that Atlanta game. Porzingis playing has been very, very important to this defense, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I know that Trey also did not play in those games, but Porzingis played in 2 games last week. They gave up 102 to Minnesota and 99 to the Knicks. Like, the Knicks are a good offense, and they completely shut them down the entire game. I think Porzingis, he might only play 20 minutes, so we'll see how big of a workload he has. But deja vu game, Porzingis being healthy, I think matters for this defense. I'll go with the under 234.5 as my lock for the show. For the dog, I was wondering if I wanted to go for a 1-10 play or if I wanted to go for potentially a player prop in this game because I didn't feel great about many actual dogs outright for this game. I could have gone for Edgecombe 3s potentially at 2.5, but I mean, I think Denver's defense is pretty underwhelming, but I don't know if I want to go for a Philly team total. Then again, Embiid might go crazy because Denver has no centers, and you might just see him have a great game. So it's at 25.5, though. Like, I feel like Embiid 30 makes sense, but do I actually trust him to get to 30? I don't know. But it's at 215, which I think is pretty good. Let me just quickly see how other centers have done. I mean, Day'Ron Sharpe had 17. Ware at 19. I mean, do I think Embiid actually gets to 30? I mean, that's really the question that I have here. I don't think I'm going to trust it enough. So I might go for something a bit different, but it's going to be in the same game. Let me just quickly see what price I can get. Because I kind of want to parlay a couple of Philly players to have good games because I don't trust Denver defensively at all. And on a back-to-back, they might just roll over. So let me just see what I can get if I took Embiid. Let's go 20. That doesn't work. 25. No, that's sorry, that's the wrong guy. Okay, that works. You know what? I'll be a bit different. Give me Maxey 25 and Embiid 25 plus 152.
All right, not bad.
I'm going to try something different.
Underdog.
I'll dare Denver to stop anybody. The Nets scored like 127 against them yesterday. They still can't guard anybody. I think Maxey and Embiid have good matchups. Just give me both main guys to show up.
Yep, I like it. All right, what are we doing for underdog?
Anybody you want to recycle?
We could run Embiid.
Okay.
Higher on the points.
You want to do first quarter points or full game?
Let's go full game. Let's not tempt fate. What else do we like here? Zubac?
I don't know if I want Zubac because he's still coming back from injury.
Kawhi?
Kawhi makes sense.
It's at 28.5.
I mean, I get it. I don't know if I feel great about it, but I get it. I'm just looking around. I mean, do you want Cade stuff? Because
Jalen Johnson, 24.5.
I can get behind that. I can get behind Jalen Johnson.
He had 30 last game. Or I can go points, rebounds, and assists for Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do the PRA.
PRA? Okay, 43.5 PRA for Jalen Johnson. And
I mean, did you want to do like Avdi a PRA or something? Do you want to do Cade?
Oh, yeah. Kate or Abby?
Do they have Mitchell Robinson rebounds on there?
Ooh, hold on. Good point. Very good point.
I think they should because he's probably going to start. They kind of
8.5.
All right, take the higher on the rebounds.
Yeah, I will. I think he's good for 10.
Cool.
And it's a little 8.5 is a little juice, Scott.
All
right, higher. 8.5 rebounds for Mitchell Robinson. Higher. 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jalen Johnson. And higher. 25.5 points for Joel Embiid. Oh, I know who's going to run this. All right. Well, let's not be pessimistic here. 6.24x, $100 gets you $624 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, they asked about some unrivaled bets. I will say this. I understand the Phantom looked horrible last year. It's a new team with the only returning player on that team is Natasha Cloud because Satu's still out with the concussion from the finals. Yeah. Believe it or not, she's still lingering from that concussion. And really
Satu was hooping too.
But
that was a shame.
But I say all that. They're catching 2.5 points against the Breeze, and the Breeze are such a young team. Granted, some played in Unrivaled last year. You had Rakia Jackson who played on the Mist, and then Cam Brink was injured, so she really didn't get to play. But we know she's a 3-on-3 basketball player. She was on the U.S. basketball team. They have Paige, they have Dom Malonga, Kate Martin, Ari McDonald. It's a youth movement. Noelle Quinn is the coach, so you kind of already question the coaching and trying to figure out, oh, now I got to adjust to 3-on-3. And you have a lot of these players that are not used to playing 3-on-3. I like the Phantom plus 2.5 here. I will give that out. I don't know how this is going to go. This is the first game, but off of just blindly looking at the rosters, something tells me that I would have probably made this Phantom roster with Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Cloud, Tiff Hayes, Kiki Iriafin, and Kelsey Plum. I probably would have made them favorite over that Breeze team. So I like the Phantom to get it done, especially because they had a horrible year last year and they want to switch that.
I can get behind that. I also kind of agree because I think the Breeze is one of the worst team names I've ever heard in my entire life. What kind of team name is that?
What's the
mascot?
What are you,
like, you're a soft wind? How do you come up with that
name?
Like, that's just terrible. The Breeze? What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, man.
Whatever. That's a name that you should have left in the drafts. That should not have made it public. That's a really bad team name.
The Breeze are probably going to be a team that are better later on in the year, but first game of the season, nah. Starts tonight, 8 p.m., TNT. Go check it out. We love hoops, all kinds of hoops.
Is their mascot like a really big house fan? Like what is their mascot?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's bad. The Breeze? That's terrible.
I don't know. I can't wait to see what Breeze Night looks like because they have team nights for all the teams to see. I'm wondering what Breeze Night looks like.
Even wind is fine.
Do you just leave the door open and let a draft come through? Let a draft come through the whole arena? And
that's their mascot. Night? It's an open window. That's their mascot. Like, this is just not. You could have done so much better than Breeze, but whatever.
All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at @reallyreal__. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast for all the good content. And with that, yeah, Scott, that's it. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of